So can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So yesterday we have prepared a report based on the total report. This is called total create profitability report. Now let us create a report based on the line items. The process, procedure, everything is going to be the same. Only you will find some difference that we will see. And before we enter into that, I don't know whether we have looked into KE30 report. I think we have looked into KE report, but I'm not sure whether we went into this transaction and looked. Okay, so path in this case is this. KE30 report, easy access, accounting, controlling, profitability analysis, information system, KE30 execute report. So this is the report that we have developed yesterday. Just select the same thing, execute, or you can double click also on this and enter the fiscal year, period, company code. Our company code is 2000 and classic drill down report, just execute. So we can see this. Okay, right. Then the other thing we have is report parameters. So you can select here with this, you can select, you can see all the parameters. What are the basis information? What is the general selection, variable, characteristics, what we have as columns, what do we have under rows, and what is the technical data that is there. And you can export it to an Excel. Of course, we have seen the graphics. This is for mail. This is not required. Yeah, currency. This is one of the important thing. Now we have this entire information in USD. Now when you click over here in the currency, you have an option. It is in the USD. Now in which currency do you want to have? I will say I can select something, right? But the exchange rate has to be maintained for that. Whatever the latest exchange rate, the same will be considered. Suppose if I select INR and translation key, I'll say mean rate of as of today. Just execute. Now on executing, all these values in the USD will be converted into INR based on the rate available today. Not exactly today, the latest rate that will be considered. So I'm executing. Now you can see it in the INR. So that is this currency thing and attributes. So if you select no attributes available for plan and actual, okay, there are no attributes. Now this is for number format. Exceptions, display comments and comments. Yeah, maintain comments. That's it. So among these, this is very important currency and the graphic thing is important. Right. Next we have edit, go to, yeah. Here go to, select go to from menu bar, go to line items. And in order to select this, we will have to keep the cursor on one of the items, I think. Okay, you want a planner actual? I'm just selecting actuals. I'm selecting actuals, go to line items. Now you can see this information. Okay, you have that these are the transactions. These are all the transaction scope or documents, right? That you can see. I think it is not possible. Select either plan or actual only, not these. Only the actual amounts can be seen, not not these individual items. Okay, and That's about here. Navigation, extras, number format, of course, system. That's fine. So these are the items that we will have to look into the COPA report. Okay, right. Now let's go back to our main topic. Okay, so first, as usually, even in the case of the line item reports based on line item or reports based on totals, first form is required. Okay, define forms. So the define forms for profitability reports based on totals, and this is based on the line items. I'll show you main difference, but ultimately there is nothing. It's going to be the same, but you will find some difference. We will discuss that part. So define forms for reports based on line items. Path for this is IMG, controlling, profitability analysis, information systems, reports, report components, define forms for reports based on line items. Just execute. Double click on create form for reports based on line items. Double click on this. Now give a form, give a code to the form. If you see over here, there is nothing. We have created form yesterday based on the totals, but this is not for the total. This is for line items. So if you see over here, you will not be finding anything. So what I will do, I will say profit. Okay. As usually, I'm selecting two axes and selecting create. So do you want operating concern currency or you want both? I'm selecting both just to say no. As usual, you can find columns, rows. You can put the same thing, whatever you want to have in your report. You can see, you can keep all of them over here. Okay. So now double click on column. I will take characteristic here. I will take actual, only the actual. I will take actual. Okay. I'm just changing the description. I'll put as actual. Check and confirm. Okay. Now here I'll just put some administration expenses. Okay. I'm just putting all the administration expenses. Double click on row one, value field with characteristics. Next, select the relevant administration expenses. We have administration, check and confirm. Double click on this value field with characteristic, and here I need to select value field, the relevant value field insurance. Then I will select the next one, value field with characteristics, and here I will say rent. What else we have here? Depreciation also be considered. Okay, rent I'm selecting, and finally I will select the other one called depreciation. Depreciation. So I don't think we have any. That's it. So I'm selecting depreciation. So I will say these are all my depreciation expenses. So I'm keeping cursor here, go to edit rows and dividing line. I will say underscore. Okay, I'll say underscore. I will say yes. I have this. Now I will keep my cursor over here. double click on that. I will have a formula. Then I'm selecting formula. I have to add all of them. Insurance, rent, and depreciation. That's it. Okay. I will say total expenses. Okay. I'm putting the line now. Keep my cursor over here. Edit, rows, and dividing line. I'll say no. Okay. That's it. Now I'm saving. Before I save it, I'll have to go into general data selection, and I will select controlling area, controlling area. I will say 1248 is our controlling area. I'm selecting the same thing. Check and confirm. Save. Currency type also it must be added. So let's add currency type also. Why are we getting currency type? Because we have selected two currencies, right? At the time of creating this form, we have selected two. What are those two? Operating concern currency and company code currency. So because of that, it is expecting the same. Here we have, if you see over here, you can find both of them. See, operating concern currency and company code currency. Okay, I will say company code currency, or I can select the other one. Okay, check and confirm. That's it. Save, saved. Back, close it, and let us create the report. Create reports based on line item. Path for this is IMG controlling profitability analysis, information systems, create reports based on line items. Just execute, double click on create profitability report based on line items and select the description. This is based on form. So select report with form, select over here. We have got only one, select the same thing and create. So you got a company code. Now, if you see over here, you will find more or less the same, almost all characters, but you will find few, I think one only, not sure, that is called posting date. So, whereas in the case of totals, we don't have an option to select the posting date, but here we have an option to select the posting date. That's the main difference. So what I will do, I will select the profit center, country, scroll down, billing date. You see here, billing date. You have billing type. I think this one is also one of the one of the important things, right? And here you have canceled document, canceled item. Okay, you can see all of them. Next, you can see created on which date, created by whom. You're going in that level. Created on document number. If you see over here, you can select a document number also. I'm selecting document number. These are all very important things here. And period, posting date. Now this is the most important thing. Posting date, you can see by posting date, right? Next, reference document number, reference item. These are all the main characteristics for the line item reports. See, sales order item, it is expecting at item level also. Next, sender cost center, all these things, right? I'm assigning on to the left. We have selected document number, we have selected posting date, fiscal year, profit center, country, and company code. Among all, I just want to keep only company code as my selection screen. Okay, in the selection screen, I just want to have company code and fiscal year. Now, what I can do, I will have I will have to select variable. I can enter CEO com code. You can put anything, right? Next, fiscal year. As soon as we have selected, you can see here one field, one tab for variable. Now coming to the characteristic, I will select fiscal year also. I want to select fiscal year. So you can select fiscal year. Okay, press enter. Right. I've got two uh, variables, and in addition to that, I have got only four characteristics. Up, if you want, you can add few more also. Sales employee, if at all we have anything in that. Record type, if you want, you can see a record type as well. Created by, of course, in this case, we have got only one created by best. So created on, of course, nothing but posting date. Cancelled item, you can see cancelled document, billing date. These are all important characteristics for our line item based reports. Okay, I've selected all of them. Going into variables, you can see some default information, and output type, you as usually select classic drill down, and this you can select multiple options here as well. You have different options. You can select the one which you want. Okay, then I'm selecting classic drill down as my default selection, and I want all of them to be available on the screen. Okay, that's it. Press enter and just save. Okay, report profit saved. So we have got form based on line item. We have got report based on the form. Okay, so now we can go and execute. We can do execute from here also, but it is advisable to do from the front end. Okay, going into the same transaction KE30, just select. Now we have got two here. One is margin, the other one is profit. So double click on profit, or you can select it, execute here. You have fiscal year, company code. Only these two are the variables, so you can see them. Okay, I've selected classic drill down as my default. Just execute. Now you can see here administration, insurance, and depreciation. You can see them. Now I'm selecting posting date here. Posting date, on this date, this is the transaction. On this date, on this date, right? You can see, like, now if I select a document number, I'm selecting document number now. So this date only, document number 6, that's the only the transaction we have. We don't have multiple. So 25th, On 25th, we have got 4 and we have one more 5. That's it. Only 2 document numbers. On 24th, we have got 1, 2, 3. That's it. Okay. So right here, we don't have an option to select a previous. The first document happened on 24th. Now here you don't have an option to select furthermore. This you can select.
Another,
Yes.
I have one question.
Mhm.
You see the administration is showing 4567, correct?
4, 5, 6, 7. Yes.
Let's say, for example, the value is not coming as 4567. The value is coming as 3567, and the business are saying the value is supposed to be 4567. Why is it coming as 3567? What are the things we will look for in the value?
Now
If
here go into the document numbers. Here is the document number, right? KE24. Just go into KE24 and you can figure that out.
okay.
KE24 is the line item report. Of course, we have seen already the path. KE24. Go into KE24 and select whatever the currency you want. And the document I will say 3 here, and company code I will select 2000 and just execute. I have this one. Now double click on the company code currency. If you go here in the value field, you can see that.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So I have 3 here, document number 3. So like that, I can go and see the document numbers. This is the only main difference between your total reports and line item reports. So if you have 10 documents, you can see all the 10 documents. But if you don't have a document number, if you just wanted to have based on the posting date, you will not have on this date, whatever we have, the total will come here. If you want to see a document number, you can see with on that particular posting date, what is the document number and what is the individual line item. This is not possible with the help of the total report. This is only possible with the line item report. Any questions? Any questions on this?
No, Nanda.
Yeah. So as usually here we can see the currency and in the graphics. Okay, so here, of course, we have line items, display master. You can see the master data as well. Now you see here posting date. Posting date is the important factor here in the line item reports. Okay. Now, so we don't see any header and footer now. So let us see that. So let us see the header and footer now. I'm going back to the report, change profitability report based on the line item. change profitability report based on the line item. Okay, double click here on this. Now here you have in the output type, you have header and footer. Okay, now if you select this and select over here maintain headers, whatever the text that you want to keep, you can keep here. I will say profitability report 1248. I'm just keeping some text. Say back. Now footer, I'm selecting footer again, selecting this. Now what I will say, end of the report, whatever you want to keep. Okay, I'm just saving now. That's it. We have got header and footer as well. Now when you go to the report KE30, and when I'm saying profit execute, and I'm putting the same information execute, now you can see profitability report 1248. Okay, next, when you scroll down, you will find, yeah, end of the report. You can see end of the report. If you want to change the position here, if you want from here to here, the only option is go back to that place and, you know, scroll towards right. That's it. Go back to change again, and output type here in the footer, save it back. I'm executing from here directly. Execute. Now you can see end of the report. Okay, that's what, this is what the header, this is what the footer. Any questions? Any questions here?
No, Nanda.
Okay, fine. So let's discuss the accounting based COPA. So yeah, one more important point here is, I mean, in ECC, when you want to go by accounting based COPA, this was not at all the option. So this is, it means this, we were using this report based on the line item only in the case of costing based COPA, not in the accounting based COPA. But not sure about S4. Let us try that one as well. Accounting based COPA. Let's create and try. If we get it or what, we will see. But this was not at all an option for accounting based COPA in ECC. Okay, that's a main difference. What does it mean? It means when you want to go by costing based COPA, you have reports based on the total, report based on the line item. We had these two options when we were going by costing based COPA. If we go by accounting based COPA, it used to be a profitability report by total. Define forms for profitability reports. This was only the option for accounting based COPA. Okay, so let's go and create the report based on the accounting based COPA. Okay, so first make sure in the structure, select structure, select a define operating concern, maintain operating concern, just execute and make sure this is selected. I mean, basically the accounting based is selected. One important point in this case is when you are going by an accounting based COPA, you don't require the value fields. We don't require value fields. We don't require value fields at all. We just need characteristics. And one more thing, yeah, before we get into that, there is one more. This is nothing but a dynamic table, right? Created as soon as we activate our operating concern CE1 1248. If you go into the table, so the table, in order to go into the table SC16N and take the particular table, press enter, and here you can see currency type, whatever you want. If I say 10 and execute, I can see the details. All these are the actual transactions. All these are the actual transactions. You can see all these tables. Okay. So this is what CE1. Of course, we also have three more sorry, what do you call, three more tables, CE2, CE3, CE4. I don't remember exactly all of them. I mean, which one is for totals, which one is for plan and all, but CE1 is for actuals. I remember because most of the time we will use this table. Okay, go back. Let us see CE2. Let us see CE2. CE2 1248. No values. Something will be picked up here. I think plan or something, but I'll tell you that I made a point somewhere in my database. CE3 will take care of something else. Profitability segment. What is this? Okay, similarly CE4, you can see some information. Okay, I will tell you what exactly CE2, CE3 and CE4 talk about. I will give you that information. I'll drop a message on that because I kept it somewhere. Okay, so that's about the table. Now Coming back to the in the accounting based COPA, make sure this is selected accounting based COPA. Okay, and you need to have the relevant characteristics. What is the main difference between accounting based and costing based? In the case of costing based, we used to select value fields while creating our forms. We used to create forms uh, for our reports under costing based. But whereas in the case of accounting based, you will be not you will not be using the value fields. Instead, we'll be using the cost elements. That's only the difference. Rest all going to be the same. So here we will consider cost elements. That is the pointer here. Okay, rest all same. So make sure that you have accounting base selected or here. Go back and here set operating concern KEBD, execute here and select our operating concern, select accounting based because we are doing it based on the accounting base. So select the same thing, select save as user default. That's it. So if you have not maintained the accounting base, then you will have to select and you need to add the relevant characteristics accordingly. Okay, so that's the major part we will have to look. We will have to make sure make sure to be available before you go and create the reports based on the cost elements, based on the accounting COPA.
So if the company wants to be using accounting based,
Mhm.
then the value field we don't have to create.
Right. If we are going by accounting based only, then we really don't require value fields. We don't need value fields at all.
Okay. So you created the value fields and the cost element because you using costing based and accounting based as an example.
Correct.
Okay. So um, one more question. If you're using accounting based,
Mhm.
then if we don't create the value fields, but all other things that you created will continue with that, right?
Yes, exactly. There is no change at all because we are not going to do anything with the with here. When you go here in value flow of actuals, here it is mentioned as a direct postings from FI and MM. Now here what we have selected automatic this thing. This is fine. This is absolutely fine. So that is more than enough. And we don't really require PA transfer structure for all for accounting based COPA because when you go here in the PA transfer structure, when you execute and here we used to select FI, right? So select the same thing, assignment lines, and once you select here what is my source and what is my value field. So we are selecting value field. We don't require value field. We are not using value field in the case of accounting base. So what does it mean? It means we really not require this PA transfer structure thing at all. We don't require PA transfer structure.
So whenever we are maintaining every configuration for accounting base, anywhere we see what is showing value field, we just don't have to do anything there.
Correct. It means value field is nothing but a cost element over here. It is just a cost element over here. That's it. So instead of selecting value field, we are selecting cost elements. That is the only the difference.
So most of the company are using accounting based.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know. Okay.
Okay. And so we really not require the PA transfer structure because we are not at all using the value field.
But if we are not using, can you go to that PA again? Execute
Here,
it. Yes, please. Okay, select the,
FI.
yeah, then assignment,
Uh-huh.
the 10, then the source.
Okay.
So how are we going to maintain from and to if we don't do that?
No, we are not directly, we are not at all here. What we are doing in the costing based COPA, whenever I'm posting any transaction in this range of GLs, I'm telling the system to consider this value field. This value field would be there in our report.
Okay.
But in the accounting base, I'm not at all using this. I want to use this 3 lakhs or 3 lakh 19 or whatever directly in the report.
Okay. That is what you will create in OK business.
Correct, correct. That's itself, this this cost element itself will give you that information.
Okay. Okay. Done. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So of course, once we complete this thing, you will have a fair idea on it. Okay, right. Now let us go and create the report based on account GL cost element. Okay, let us go and create the same thing now. Okay, so first create define forms for profitability reports. Of course, path we have already discussed, just execute. Now create form, double click on create form. If you see over here, we are not finding anything because earlier we have created those reports based on the costing, right? Costing based COPA. In costing based COPA, we have created two reports which cannot be seen over here because this is based on accounting. So put something, you can put what do you call expense. I would say total expense. Okay, total expenses. Just select create. Okay, create, and as usually the same. Now we'll see first rows. You can see the similar. You'll find as usually the same way, but only the difference in the case of value field. Instead of value field, we will be selecting cost elements here. Now double click on row and I'm saying value field with characteristic. Select here. Now value field here, it is based on the value transaction currency or which currency do you want to consider. Here we have different currencies: value in object currency, value in transaction currency, or value in controlling area currency, total quantity, fixed value, additional quantity, additional quantity, additional quantity. So which one do you want? I will say value based on controlling area currency. Controlling area currency. Now here we will be selecting. Earlier in our costing based COPA, we used to select value field here, revenue. We used to select. On selecting this, we used to get all the drop down of all the relevant value fields what we have selected for our operating concern, right? But here we don't have that option. We are selecting what is the currency that we want to consider. Now here we will have to select the cost element. Scroll down, you will have cost element. Here you can see cost element. Select a cost element. Okay. Now characteristic cost element requires controlling area in the general data set. That's fine. Just select here. Okay, first we will require that to be done first. Let us do that. Go to edit, general data selection, select the controlling area. Selecting controlling area, I will say 1248, check and confirm. Okay, now double click here again on this value field with characteristic, enter value based on transaction currency or value based on controlling area currency. Okay, now cost elements, pick up the cost element, select cost element, assign onto the left, and so what we will do, suppose within the sales, if you want to have like this, of course we are creating only the expenses, but within the sales, if you have like say export sales, local sales, other sales, if at all you have like this, you need to have these three cost elements specifically. You need to have these three cost elements specifically. Okay, suppose in the on the expenses side you have factory rent and office rent. Let us assume like this. You need to have two cost elements for this. You need to have two cost elements. Let me show you that. So before we go into that, what I will do, I'll go and create few cost elements in FS00. In FS00, let us see what do we have. Within the rent, what I will do, I will say factory rent. Next, what I will say, I'll copy it 400, 400, I will say, I will say office rent, office rent. Okay, I've created. Similarly, in the case of sales, of course, we are just creating one based on the expenses, but in case of revenues, if you want to consider revenues, I will say export revenue, export revenue, save, and 300, 100, I will say local revenue, local revenue, and I will say other revenue, I will say rent received, we don't have further, that is fine. What it is saying, account group in co only defined this thing, right? Okay, but here, oh, okay, I think that's a problem. Okay, FS00, and here in the case of incomes, I will say copy 3,10,000. I will say rent received. Right. I'm going to create one more, let's say commission. Save. Now I'm going back here and I'll show you the process. Now we have selected controlling area currency. I want to see that in the controlling area currency. And what are we selecting first? So since we are selecting total expenses, let us consider this again as an income, or let's say total sales. Now, how do you get the total sales? Here, cost element. What is the cost element for our export? Just select the same thing over here. Export sales, here export revenue, put it as, select that one. If you select a range, you can keep all these cost elements in uh, one line item only. Suppose if I just select 3,99,999 and check and confirm, what does it mean? It means the entire amount whatever you have, that is based on the range of the cost element that we have given. But since we are selecting the accounting based, it is good, it is advisable to consider, cost element wise. So I'm not going to consider that. And in the text, what I will say, export sales. Okay, I'm just saying export sales. I have got export sales. Next, I will see value field based on the characteristic. Again, I will have to consider the controlling area currency. Don't consider differently over here. That will lead some the unnecessary information, like the confusions will be created. Suppose if I create one line item with the controlling area currency, if I create the other line item with the transaction currency, that will create a lot of confusions, lot of issues. So if you want to go by controlling area currency, select all the time controlling area currency. Now here in the case of cost element, again go to here and select local revenue. Okay, local revenue. I will say local. Check and confirm. We got the local revenue. And I will say value field with characteristic. Again, I'm selecting the controlling area currency. Now here I will select the other revenue. Okay, so check and confirm other revenue. Double click again on the next row to add to add rent received. rent received, double click here again on the next one, value field with characteristics and controlling area currency. Okay, now select the next and final last one, commission. Okay, commission, copy short text, check and confirm. Okay, got it. That's it. Okay, commission. So I'm taking the total revenues, keep my cursor over here, go to edit, rows, go to rows, inserting dividing line. I will say yes, double click on the next formula because I want to take the total. So formula, and here export sales plus local revenue plus other revenue plus rent received plus commission. Okay, it's called total revenue. Okay, again I'm keeping cursor over here, go to edit, rows, dividing line. This time I will say no. Okay, that's it. Now column, if I try to save it, system will not allow me because there is no column. No column have been identified, so you cannot save. So now double click on the first column, characteristics I want. So here what I will do, plan and actuals. Okay, I will say actual 0, actual data, say actual, copy short text, enter, check and confirm. Now system will allow me to save. That's it. So go to change form, double click on this, it will take you to this. Okay. Yeah. So there is nothing else to discuss because variables, we don't have any variables. Okay. If you want to change some text, you can change the text. In the case, this is for lead column. Okay, that's fine. Save it back. Okay, close this. Go into create profitability report. Of course, we have seen the path. Create profitability report. Just execute. Okay, now create profitability report. Double click on create profitability report. Okay, what I will do, I'll put total income based on form. This is the form that we have created. Just say create. Okay, so we don't have variable over here. Based on this selection, you can have So I will say profit center, country. You can select all of them, but we don't have any information for that. So sales organization, we don't have business area, company code. Okay, then cost center, if you want, you can select cost center. Fiscal year, of course, we require. Period, if you want, you can select period. That's it. Just assign. Okay. Now I will select company code only. Okay. Something I'm selecting as local variable. Press enter. I will have only the variable here. Okay, I just want to keep only one thing over here, or if you want, I mean, normally we will select fiscal year also. Okay, just press enter. Okay, and you can see both of them under the variables. Output type, of course, I can select. Suppose if I select this basic drill down, how how does that appear? Let us see. I am not selecting this. So it means I can see the report only on this basis. I don't have the other option to select because I'm not keeping this on the selection screen. That's it. I'm saving. Okay. Now what we will do, we will go back and create and execute the report. KE 30 total income. Select the same thing, just execute. Okay, fiscal year and company code, we don't have an option to select which output type do you want. That is not available over here. Just execute. Okay, so we don't have any transaction now here on this. Let us post a transaction and we will see. We don't have any transactions on the income side. So now, if you want to do any transaction KEBD, just before that going to KEBD, make sure that you are on the accounting based. Now for this, what we require is going to flow of actuals. Okay, direct postings from FIMM, automatic account assignment, OKB9. Just execute this. We don't have any incomes over here, so we will have to select incomes. So 2000 is our company code. How many 5 GLs, right? 5 cost elements. So 300, all these are to be selected. So I'm selecting all of them, keeping it over here, 2000. 2000. I'm selecting profitability. Okay, saving. That's it. Okay, saved. Now use I can use these and I can post the transaction. Now go here, FDES 02 31/03/2019. Okay, I will select 1,20,000. I think bank account is what? 1,20,000. I think. Yeah, 1,20,000. Say 20. Let's say 35,000. Okay, due on 31st March 2019. Profit center. Let us say 2,000. And I'm selecting now 50 revenue. So which is I will have to select either export revenue or something. I will say export revenue, press center, derivation rule. So it is expecting a derivation rule. For this cost element, we need to have some characteristics to be triggered automatically. So for that reason, we require a derivation rule for all these cost elements. So you see here, select here. Now, step 13, derivation cost center and profit centers. No entry in derivation rule was found for the specified source fields. The derivation rule was set up so that an error message appears. Now here, controlling area, company code and cost element. We have this thing. This is what the combination. So since we don't have anything in this combination, so system is throwing up. So what we will do, we will have to go here and we will have to do a derivation. So master data here, define characteristic derivation, just execute. Now, when you go here, you can see the cost element. This is our cost element. And we are not finding our own cost element here, 3 lakhs, right? So what I will do, I will go and create another one. Okay, going to this change, right? I'm selecting a new step. Okay, derivation rule. Now here, derivation for incomes. What I will do here, I will select controlling area. This is the combination. If the controlling area is this, if the company code is this, where is the company code?
Up.
Yeah, the second one. Okay, and if this is the cost element is this, I want a profit center and country, or I just need a profit center. I just need a profit center. Okay, now maintain.
That way we're putting profit center. Why can't you put it under cost element up there?
What is the cost object that you want me to consider?
Oh, so the profit center is not a source field.
Sorry?
No, I'm saying that the profit center you put down there,
Uh-huh.
why can't we put it under cost element?
Here on this side you're saying?
Yes.
We can put, if this is a controlling area, if this is the cost element, if this is the company code, if this is the cost element, if this is the profit center, what do you want? What is the, suppose if I keep profit center, what is going to be the receiver target field?
Oh, okay.
So we need to have something else, right? So something, of course, if I want to keep, um, I'm not finding. So you can keep country. Suppose if this is a controlling area, if this is the company code, if this is the cost element, if this is the profit center, country going to be this. You can keep that also. Okay, what is the logic that you want? You can consider. I can keep land over here.
All right.
Okay, I can keep profit center over here.
Okay.
Okay, now maintain rules. It is expecting a save. Yes. Now controlling area, company code, cost element, profit center, and this is my country. Okay, 1248 and 2000. Cost element going to be 3 lakhs and profit center going to be 2000. It is going to be yes. 1248, 2000, 300, 100, 2000 profit center US. 1248, 2000 and 300, 200, 2000 and US. 1248. Of course, you can change here the profit center. Of course, we can change, but I'm just keeping the same profit center in order to avoid any kind of confusion while posting the transaction. Okay, so 300, 200 is over. Right, 31,000, 3,10,000, 2,000 US. 1248, 2,000, 100, 2,000 US. Okay, I'm just saved. So in this combination, US is going to be picked up. Okay, so what I will do, I'll come back from this transaction. We'll start again. F dash 02, 1,20,000. I will put some 35,000. So here 50 is my this thing. Okay, so what I have selected here, my controlling area, company code, and if this is my cost element, the next is going to be my cost element. Okay, already I've selected company code. This company code is linked to controlling area. So controlling area, company code, cost element, and what is my next priority? Okay, it is checking the first one, maintain entries. It is checking the first one only because it has already a cost element. It is checking the cost element, the first one only, 13. It is checking 13. It is checking the 13. So okay, I think yeah, that's true, because it is going in a sequential manner, right? It is going in a sequential. First it is going and checking 13, then if it is failing, it is moving on to 14th. Okay, so since the condition is matching here, the cost element is not over here, so it is stopping there. Okay, but we can do the other way around. Okay, I'm not exactly getting point on how to avoid this and go into 14. Mm, okay, I will just check that part and we will see. So at the moment, let me try and maintain over here. So just save back. Let us see. There is a way to avoid this. Okay, I'm just going into F-02 again. So 1,20,000 profit center for this, for the bank account, 50 revenue account. Okay, 35,000. And if I say press enter, system picked up automatically profitability segment. If you see the profitability segment, you can see the relevant characteristics. Okay, now what you can do is there is another way also. I'm not getting exactly, that's fine. Okay, so if you want, you can say derivation, you will get entire thing, and just say continue. Okay, now go to document, simulate, and just save. Okay, 1 all zeros 26. So if you go here, display and environment, accounting document environment, accounting documents, you can see your profitability document. So double click on profitability, you can see what are your characteristics. Okay, and along with, you can see also value field. You can also see the value field because we have selected both accounting based and costing based. But now when we go and see our report based on accounting based, you can see this 35,000. So let us go into KE30 and check the report. Total incomes, just execute. Now fiscal year company code, execute. Oh my God, why it's not coming up here? It is perfect. Export revenue is perfect only, but why this is not coming up here? Let me go into COEP. Controlling areas 1248. executing. This the amount should appear, but why it is not coming? Process wise, there is no change, but we will have to see why it is not appearing. There is no change on the process front. So I'm going into KSB5 where we can see controlling document number, selecting the document number here, executing. Let us see here. Profitability segment only. But why this is not appearing there? Okay, let us go to KE30 and see. Once again. 2000 is our company code. So fiscal year is of course the same. KE30. Execute total income. Execute. It is not appearing. Let me post another transaction. 2000 company code. This time I will say 3 lakhs 2500 presenter and 40 1,20,000. The profit center will be derived from the other line item. Save. Okay, display environment document additional accounting documents profitability analysis. Okay, so that's fine. It is triggering properly, but why it is not coming up there? Okay, let us see now. KE30 execute, again execute. Why this is not coming up? The process wise is perfect, but it is not coming. That's the only the problem. That's the only the problem. Let me go and change the, okay, let me see. Let me go here in the form. Let me change this to transaction currency. Here, export sales. Let me select transaction currency. It should not be a problem, but still, let's see. Export sales. Check and confirm. This should not be a problem, but still let us see. Value transaction currency, local revenue, check, confirm, other revenue, transaction currency, okay, other revenue, rent received, rent received, check and confirm, commission, rent value transaction currency, commission, okay, check and confirm. Okay, let us see now. It should not be a problem, but still let us try with it. So no change on the profitability report. This is going to be the same. I'm not changing any company code, country. All these things are there. Perfect. Okay. Let, let us try it once again. KE30. Execute. Execute again. No. I think I will have to look into it. Okay, the process wise, there is no change. It's the same thing. I don't know where are we going wrong, but the procedure wise, everything is same. There is no change in this. Okay, so I will take a look into it and we will continue. Okay, so let me post another transaction and see. The same thing is up here. 300, 100. Did we not maintain? Oh, okay. I think we did not maintain for this, right? So 3 lakhs. I will say 337, 3350. And here 40, 1,20,000. Just post. Okay, so let me try and post manually. Let me select the relevant information here. Profit center, I'll say 1000. Country, I will say US. That's it. Continue. Save it. Okay. Now go to KE30. Just check once. No, I will take a look into it and we'll continue tomorrow. The configuration, everything is same. There is no change in that, but I don't understand why the report is not getting updated. Okay. Any questions?
No, Nanda.
For
Yeah.
now, no
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. So just go through the